welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then. Don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run. So you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Connected. Oh no. Wait. I'm gonna have to let them go around the track. Why are we not paired? Come on, pair. Pair. Why is that not working? Hopefully it'll work now. We're gonna go. No. Not working. Right, got a problem. So we're just going to have to let them run around the track for a little bit. My treadmill is not working. Well, the treadmill's working, it's just not connected to Zwift. Don't know why, but fingers crossed. In a minute, we'll be up and running. Let's see what happens now. Nothing. Oh no. Come on. This is no good, is it? Right, hang on a sec. Right, completely unplug the treadmill. And go to menu, make sure that there's nothing there at all. It's always an adventure with Stephen, you're absolutely right. Right, my run is not connected, not there. Come on. good. Go away, go away, go away. We want it to go away. It's not there, is it? Please don't be there. Go away. Go away. See if I can press it. Ah, there we are. Gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. No, I don't want to connect to the run. Right, let's... Right, treadmill back in. Yeah, I don't want to connect my Garmin. Right, fingers crossed. We'll get going. Fingers crossed it'll come up. Come on. Not the run. I don't want the run. I do not want the run. Do you know why I don't want the run? Because the run is not connected. The run is not on the treadmill. It's in a box. So that won't help us at all. And we don't have... Oh, I have got a stride on, but it's not got any power on it. Come on, treadmill. Come on. Treadmill's working. The treadmill is going. Need it picked up by Zwift. If not, I might have to use a stride. I think I've got a spare stride with some power in it somewhere. Got a stride on my foot and a stride in my hand. Let's see if we can get one of them working. Crisis not averted yet, Jonathan. Rob Harrison says Steve is on his knees again. Yeah, all know about that. Right, why is the treadmill not in any way broadcasting Bluetooth? Or maybe it's picked something up somewhere. Well, yeah, the stride. If I can get the stride working, that'd be good. See if we can pick up a stride. Oh dear, if anything, we're going to have to get the milestone foot pod out, or we're just going to have to give up on Ryan's run today because I don't have any other options. Take too long to get the run out and connect that up. Why is this treadmill not connecting? I just don't understand it. Should be fine. Should be working. Yeah, but if I close, Jonathan, if I close Zwift, I won't be able to log into Ryan's run. But mind you, I've missed 10 minutes of it now anyway. Why are we not connected? Come on, please, please, please work. I can't get any. There's no stride foot pod working. I've got a stride on my foot. What else have I got? Got a Zwift pod. Has that got anything in it? If something's picked up, yeah, try waking up your devices. It says, yeah, I am trying to wake up all of my devices. All of my devices are not woken up. I'll try turning the treadmill off one more time and turning it back on again. Only thing that's connecting is the run. Yeah, Jenny, I've tried plugging it in and unplugging it, all sorts of stuff. I've got 2 foot pods that don't seem to want to connect. In fact, I've got 3 foot pods, none of which seem to want to connect. The only thing that wants to connect is this run module, and the run module is sitting in a box, and it's not on my treadmill. Unbelievable. We're getting close to the point where we have to unpairing the run. Okay, let's try unpairing the run. And unpairing there. Let's go out of the skip that. Yes, we do want to skip. Back. Go to there. Right. The good thing about them being on the track is at least I might be able to join them for 10 minutes or something if I eventually get something. Finally! Now, was that don't tell Jonathan that was his suggestion that works. Do not let Jonathan know that.
Right on!
Right, off we go. Finally. Excuse me. I just rearrange myself. 1 minute recovery. Oh, right. They've already started. Yeah, they're well into this now. So what I need to do is I need to... Right, I'm on completely the other side of the track to them, am I? Yes, I am. I'm just going to wait for them. I'm not speeding up to catch them up. I'll just wait for them to come round to me. So they're 40 seconds behind. Here they come. Look, you can see the yellow thing there. Lucho says, yay! Jonathan says that was definitely my suggestion. Rob Harrison says unplug the run. Oh dear. Holy moly, says Lucho. Yeah. Rob Harrison says Stephen's decided to join us. Oh, well, I'm waiting for you guys. I'm waiting for you. So they're going to go 2 minutes at 11 kilometers an hour. So I shall, when they catch me up, they're 30 seconds behind. I shall join them. Yeah, Brian Dale says throw the run in the bin. Yeah, well, do you know what? It's okay if you get it set up right, but then you have to keep it set up right. And for me, it's just a bit too much of a faff. Too much of a faff to mess with all the time, to make sure it's in the level position and exactly where it needs to be to measure everything correctly. Too much to get on with. So Monica says, so soon after the 100 miler. I've been running for 3 days. This is my third run. Where have you been, Monica? I've been running for ages.
Nice.
Right, here they come. Look behind me. 2 minutes at 12 kilometers an hour now. So they are starting to go a bit. Right, 7 seconds behind me. 6. Let's get a move on. 5. 4. 3. Right, they're right behind me. So we can move. Right. Now, let's pretend we're at the beginning. So this is Ryan Downey's Fartlek Friday. So it's basically an interval session on a Friday. We run around the track and enjoy ourselves. It's usually just a half an hour session. So we've got 20 minutes left, basically. Right, so we're now doing 2 minutes at 12 kilometers an hour. So we're on the Mayfield track. Rob Harrison says too many Bluetooth connections muck up his device. Yeah, it might have been something to do with that. sure I believe that heart rate there, 161. So, hope everybody's okay and enjoying your evening. It was, well, it still is. In fact, it's probably going to be an easier run than I planned. 2 minutes at 13 now. I had planned a fairly easy run because I eventually ended up going quite hard last night. Thanks for the ride on, guys.
Ride on!
Blake, thank you. And Jonathan Austin, thank you. Rob Harrison says, are there any recovery intervals? Rob Harrison says, are there any recovery intervals? I've just said none for you, Rob. So we do need to make it at least 5k tonight. When I get on the treadmill, I don't really want to do less than 5k. Unless I'm going to do a mile sprint effort or something. Right, slowing down. 10 kph for recovery. Just to fix something on my stream. Okay, 14 minutes left of the session. Very dark and rainy in Watopia tonight. Coming to the treadmill to get out of the bad weather. Still got a slight hamstring tightening, which I've had for 3 days. Felt okay yesterday. Obviously just needs kind of easing up every day. Eric, thank you for your ride on. Rob Harrison's taking the mickey out of me. He says, I'm going to collapse on the lawn after this session on my knees.
Ride on!
Simon Funnel, thanks for the ride on. Yeah, I started with technical issues, yes. In fact, that's because I didn't even start, really. My treadmill wasn't connected for some reason, so I spent 10 minutes trying to get it connected. Did it in the end.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Kevin DeLuca, thank you very much. And whoever whoever this is as well. Walt Huddle, thank you. Right, so we have sped up, I think. I missed some instructions. That's okay, we're going at 11 kilometers an hour. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod, like the Zwift pod or the Stride. But you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. All right, thanks for all the ride-ons that dropped just then.
Ride on!
Ryan Downey, thank you. And K-L-R-Y, And Jonathan Austin says he's adding Zwift riding to his training for the first time ever. Bike trainer arrives soon. Buenaventura, yesterday you did really well. Don't worry about it. You held on for quite a long time. I have to say, it's only the last couple of kilometres that you fell back a bit. Right, going up to 12 kilometres an hour now for 3 minutes. Adam Holland, hello buddy.
Nice. Right on!
C Marks, thank you. So hopefully a bit of recovery in a minute. Oh, we're doing 3 minutes at 13 now. Okay. Let's catch Ryan up a bit. Tom White says, how do you run every day and not get injured? Well, I do get injured occasionally. I do have a slight hamstring pull that I can feel at the moment. But the main reason is because I run every day. Well, almost. I don't run every day, actually. Almost every day. Your body just adapts, gets stronger. Certainly newer runners are much more prone to injury. But if you look after yourself, so that you do take rests when you need to, the more you run, the more time you have on your feet, the more miles you do. Over the years, that accumulates in your body as muscle memory and general base fitness, and your legs kind of know what they're doing. So I have been quite lucky with injury, really. Although last year I was out for like 7 or 8 weeks with a foot injury, and it kept me out of a couple of races towards the end of last year. But generally, I'm okay, and actually I think I know the reason why that was as well. I think the shoes that I got were not right for me, and I think they damaged my foot. Right, 10 kph. Recovery time. Only 4 minutes left of the session though. So it basically is kind of chill out time now. So I need to do a couple more kilometres really, just to ease it off. Brian Dell's been in zone 5. Well done, Brian. Good work. Thanks as always to Ryan for organising this. Yeah, Brian Dale says, basically, run more to prevent injury. In a way, that's correct. I mean, if you're a new runner, you want to build it up slowly and steadily over a number of months and years. But yeah, basically that's the rule. The more running you do, the more your body adapts, and injuries become fewer and fewer. and you'd really have to do something wrong to get an injury. So that's, you know, fall over on the trails, or badly twist your ankle, or like I did, wear the wrong road shoes. Again, Brian said exactly the same, unless new or injured, yeah. So just chilling out the last minute and a half of Fartlek Friday, bringing the heart rate down, and I'll just run another kilometre or so after the end of the run here, just to get to 5k for the night. That'll do. I'm getting close to 4,000 kilometres now on Zwift. Where's my button? Hang on. So 3,917 kilometres and 58 metres. We'll add 5k to that tonight. So about another 80 kilometres and I'll hit 4,000 kilometres on Zwift. Thanks for the ride-ons. Andrew Cutmore, thank you. And Medhurst, thank you. Right, there we are, that's the end of the session. Have a good weekend, says Ryan. And Friday Fartlek is done and dusted, we're out of here. I've got one more kilometre to do just to make it up to 5k. Tom White says, once I get a treadmill, I'm getting this app. So you should. It's really fun, really social, good training app. Just takes the dullness out of treadmill running. So we'll just do a recovery kilometre, a very, very chilled, relaxed kilometre, and I'll slow it down even more when we get to 700 metres. Just chill out. I can definitely feel my left hamstring, so just got to be careful with that over the next 2 or 3 weeks, that I don't overstretch it. I went a bit hard last night in the end, but luckily didn't snap anything. Got an alarm going off. Have I got an alarm? Very strange.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Cheers, Marlis. Bonaventura behind me. So he's done nearly 6 kilometres. So I feel like I've really welched out today. Rubbish start to the session. But there we are, not to worry. We'll get 5k in, that'll be alright for the day. Come back tomorrow and do a few more miles. Jeff Partridge says, you've got a bad addiction there, mate. You should be in front of the telly with your feet up and a beer in your hand. Damn it. I knew I was doing something wrong. You may or may not know I ran 100 miles at the weekend on the treadmill, and it may well be that the next person to run 100 miles on a treadmill on Zwift will be Jeff Partridge, who is running at the end of the month an event called the Centurion 1 virtual running event, which you can do outdoors or indoors. I think Jeff is planning to do it on the treadmill. So fingers crossed that Jeff can get 100 miles on the treadmill in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. Buenaventura's got a barbecue in the backyard tomorrow. It's not going to be that hot here tomorrow, but next week apparently it's going to be very warm. Sunny. It's been sunny today, but not overly hot.
I'm toast.
No, that was the wrong button. I'm not toast.
Ride on.
That's the button I was hoping to press. Steve McPherson, thanks for the ride on.
Nice.
You stink.
Well, I do my best. I try. It's just that it often goes wrong. Hey, B. Allen. Thank you, Brian. Is it Brian Allen? Thank you. Right, take it down a bit. Final 300 metres of the evening's work. And just basically getting some more miles in. Just still recovering from last weekend. So the legs are still tight. Not ridiculously tight. I'm able to run. I was all right yesterday, but you cannot just run a long distance run like I did last weekend and then suddenly be racing flat out again a few days later. You have to take your time to get back into it. Just do it slowly. And long, slow runs are the way to get back. Medium to long runs. So on Sunday, I think I'm going to go out with Mrs. C. We're going to go out on the hills and do a few miles in the real world. So I might not be on Sunday, but it will definitely be on tomorrow because I've got 5 o'clock. We're doing the one leg of the 12-hour relay race, relay run, which is organised by Adam Holland. So 5 o'clock tomorrow I'm running, but if you look at Zwift runners, you'll see Adam Holland's post about the relay run and all the people who are taking part tomorrow. Might try and stream a few of those. Buenaventura, thank you very much. Take care, buddy. Right, there's 5k done. Sarah Jacobson says, I'm going to be without my treadmill for 8 days and will be only outside running. Haven't done that in almost 2 months. Yeah, Sarah, I was the same until last week. So I hadn't run outside at all for, I guess, a couple of months like you. And then I went out for a run along the seafront with my wife, which was really nice. Really enjoyed it. And so we're going to do something like that again on Sunday. But yeah, right at the moment, almost all of my time is on the treadmill here. But I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it, and it's working me hard. You know, I've done some miles, so it's been good. Right, that is me out of here, I think. Anything else I need to tell you guys about? I don't think so. So run in the park tomorrow morning if you're around, if you're awake. 9 o'clock Saturday morning UK time, or any time during the day. Check the Zwift Companion app and you'll find a time for Run in the Park, organised by John Hancock. So be there for that. And then all day tomorrow, every hour, somebody different is running in the relay runs. It's part of an event, and the name escapes me. I don't know if Adam is still watching, whether he's going to tell us what the name of the event is, or if anyone else knows. Holder, thanks for the ride on. Let me see. Adam did message me the other day, so there we are. Right, it starts tomorrow at 7 a.m. UK time, or 7 a.m. GMT on Mayfield. It's a 12-hour relay. I'm just looking for all the other info about it, though. Where's the names of everybody? Can't see it. Okay, never mind. Oh, there we are. There's something. Right, so we're starting off. There's 2 teams. So we've got Chris Sullivan and Ian Bolshaw at 7 a.m. Then Kevin DeLuca and Emily Bolshaw at 8. 9 o'clock is Bixie Das and Ben Huttinger at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock is Nick Russell and Ian Hirth. 11 o'clock is James Smith and Nathan. 12 o'clock is Christine Kafka and Ryan Perring. 1 p.m. is JC Stanhope and Faye Zhao. 2 o'clock is Anna Blackwell and Simon Hanegarth. 3 p.m. is Ara Walton, Ride and Megan Brown. 4 p.m. Cynthia Sager and Des Marshall. 5 p.m. Team 1, Herbert Krabell. Team 2, Gina Uzika. 6 p.m. There's a Team 3 as well. Where's Team 3? Luca Moretto is at 6 p.m. and Jen Alone in Team 2. Oh, hang on a minute. Am I mixing them up? Oh, yeah. So that's Teams 1 and Teams 2. And then we've got Team 3 and Team 4 as well. Blimey. So Team 3 and Team 4. Lee Walters, Team 3. Mark Jarvis, Team 4 at 7 a.m. Pip Farrant and Matthew Bevan, 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Adam Goff and John Chan. 10 a.m. Peter Barlow and Kieran Woodward. 11 a.m. Matt Vesper in Team 3 and Team 4 is Clara Davies. 12 p.m. Julie Pegararo and Jessica Purdy is in Team 4. At 1 p.m. Karen Lee is in Team 3. Kirsten Clay Winefield Team 4. 2 p.m. Richard Keeley and Michaela Shemshok. 3 p.m. Rhiannon Annandale. Blimey, that's the name, isn't it? Rhiannon Annandale. Lots of N's. And Joe Fox is in Team 4, Joe Foxon. 4 p.m. Tim Walsh is in Team 3, and Team 4 is Thomas Cloutier. And then 5 p.m. Rob Harrison is in Team 3, and I'm in Team 4. And then 6 o'clock, Mark Pulpit and Tonya Page finishes it off in Teams 3 and 4. Tonya Page in Team 4 at 6. So those are all the names. Bent Goran Johansson says, when will there be more levels than 21? And I think they should add more running routes and run specific items. Okay, so your first question, when will there be more than 21 levels? Not for a few months. They're working on a new user interface. And also, they are working on a shop and a new points system for runners. Cyclists have got it already. It's called the Drop Shop, and they earn drops from running. So that is linked to their levels in the game. They've got 50 levels. So eventually, runners will get the same. So we'll get a drop shop. We'll be earning drop points, and so that is combined. So they need to do the work on that before they release it. Whether that comes with the new user interface or not, I don't know. It might be too many big updates in one, so they might have to split it. But I think hopefully within a year we'll have more levels in running and more run routes. Well, I mean, you know you can run anywhere, don't you? So you don't have to just go on the Mayfield track or the run path in Watopia or the New York. You can run anywhere at all. I ran 100 miles last weekend. There's 100 miles of course, and that's in Watopia alone that you can run on. So if you want anywhere to run, there's plenty of mileage. That's just 100 miles just in Watopia. So you can go to New York, you can go to Yorkshire, London, Richmond, Innsbruck. There are loads of courses that you can run on, but they will add more. There will be plenty more coming, and there will be run-specific marathon courses and half-marathon courses as time goes on. But there's only a limited number of people developing at the team, and I think they churn out a lot for the number of people there are. So fingers crossed, in the next few months we'll get new levels, and at some point we will certainly get new specific running track. Yes, Ben. Well, I'm sure that once now that we have a lot of people running, the word will spread, and even when coronavirus goes away, it will never go away, will it? But when the pandemic is over, I'm sure people will stay. I'm sure a lot of people will stay, and lots more people will be joining, because the more people that know about it, the more the word spreads, and the more people will join on the back of that. So there we are. Okay. Right, I am going now. I've waffled on far too much. Although, I will say one more thing. Because I'm waffling on, I'm answering questions. What I'm thinking of doing, and if you think it's a good idea, do let me know. I am thinking of starting a chat evening. So, half an hour or an hour where I don't run. We maybe have a guest on or something as well, and we just talk about Zwift. You can ask questions, you can ask technical questions, community questions, feature questions, or run-specific questions, training questions, all those kind of things, nutrition, hydration, all those kind of things. Myself and a lot of the other guys who I would bring on as guests are very experienced, know what they're talking about, and we value the experience of all of you guys out there as well, to chime in and help in what we'd call a Zwift chat. So I'm thinking of doing that. Sarah Jacobson says she'd love that. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. We'll set it up at some point, and we'll do it once a week, half an hour to an hour of just chatting Zwift. So hopefully that's something that would work. Ben says that would be a good idea as well. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm off. I will see you tomorrow. If I get up in time, I'll do Run in the Park. If not, you'll see me at the 5 p.m. relay tomorrow afternoon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for the ride on, whoever that is.
Ride on!
Thank you, Raj. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.